Hey everyone, big thanks for supporting the podcast. We really do appreciate it. If you want to hear more from us, hit the subscribe button or press the bell icon for future updates.
Rachel Klein, welcome to the podcast.
Hi. She's back.
She's back. She's in the building. She's in the biz building. So we're having a bit of a full circle moment here with you. So you previously worked for us at Superfly.
Yeah.
Then back in the day, like 3 years ago, and then you left. You left us, and then moved again. And you're currently working for Hull's biggest music venue, Connexin Live, which means you are now our client.
Yeah, full circle. She's back.
So you've gone from team member to now client.
Yeah. And I've annoyed you all the way. It's fun there. It's fun.
Yeah, it's quite a unique instance, really, isn't it?
Like working relationship.
Yeah, you don't really hear of that much where you go from sort of working with someone to then them being a client.
It's real weird. I remember the first professional meeting that we had, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. I've literally worked with these people. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But it's good. I think it benefits us.
It does, because it's more of like a more natural, I guess, working relationship, because we know what each other are like, and there's no...
Well, we're literally all friends, aren't we?
We're friends.
Yeah,
so
we are
like...
friends. Yeah, we're friends.
It's great.
So it's kind of weird when you mix like your friendships with work in a way, because it's like...
I mean, we already did that.
yeah, we did. It's sometimes like hard to take it, I guess, seriously, but there's been no issues so far, so it's all good.
My emails that I send are literally ridiculous. I'm like, hi besties.
Yeah, the way you sign emails off. Yeah.
Love you, bye.
Yeah.
It makes it easier.
Yeah.
I think for me, from like a selfish perspective, it's just really wholesome to see someone who, like, we took on as an apprentice to flourish and do so well.
Yeah. I was
in
19.
many ways.
Done great.
Yeah.
19 when I started. It's actually nearly 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it's like 5 years ago I started in like a couple of weeks. So that's
It's
insane.
amazing the fact that you're now like one of our clients, and not only does that just create like a really good working relationship, but it's just like, oh my god,
She's doing so well.
She's doing great, sweetie. Like Kris Jenner.
it's just nice.
Yeah.
I just like seeing people do well, and especially people who I really like as well. So.
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna blush. I'm gonna blush on the podcast. Thanks, guys.
No, it's
Say
good.
more. Say
It's
more
good to
nice
see you
things.
thriving.
Yeah,
So
it is.
it's nice, and it benefits us. So it's all good.
It's a win-win.
So we've got a few questions for you to start it off.
For ya.
For you.
Tenfold pirate. For ya.
That wasn't what I was going for at all.
You do the full podcast in a pirate
Welcome
voice.
to the... How do you do it?
Like SpongeBob.
Welcome to the podcast.
That was a terrible one.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
All right, I didn't practice.
That's
before I
okay.
came.
It's all right.
You were pretty
We
good.
can't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it was a Scottish pirate, you'd be fine.
You just
to do that all the
switch
time.
accents and fool
I
everyone.
started doing Geordie the other day.
Have
But
you?
I
Go
do
on
it
then.
at work now. No.
God dare you.
No. Why
Yeah,
iPad? I do it at work. And everyone's like, why you switched accents again? And I'm like,
It's okay. You're unique. It's fine.
that's one way to put it.
Yeah, it's fine. So, first question. What is the hardest thing about working in marketing? Go. On a general.
Like I found working in like agency a lot harder than in-house, purely because of how like up to date you have to be on everything, which sounds really stupid, but like when you do, like I did social obviously in agencies, and it's like you have to know everything about, like, it's not just social that you know about, it's like SEO, PPC, like web, you have to know like everything and like keep up to date with it, and there's so many trends and stuff that you have to keep up with, and I find that really hard. Especially,
I think the social platforms themselves have developed so much that they're almost each outright a different marketing tool now, aren't they?
yeah, well,
like,
we treat them separately now. So like LinkedIn, completely different.
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Instagram, Facebook and stuff. Whereas I think like back when I did, back in the day when I started like my apprenticeship and stuff, it was kind of just like all one thing.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
everything. I think that does work for some industries, but I think for like a big entertainment venue. It definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
You have to approach it so differently.
Can't just wing it.
No, I think it's interesting as well for you to, you've obviously experienced agency and in-house now, and it's like how, I guess because you go from sort of having all of these clients who you look after to then you're working for the main business. It's such like it's literally a flipped perspective in a way, isn't it, of what you've done.
My full job changed basically. Like it's weird because it's the same but it's so different. Like when you've got like a lot of clients, you kind of don't have the capacity for it, but like you kind of you don't understand the businesses, or like I found that I struggle to understand fully, like, and be like in it myself, if that makes sense. Whereas like when you do in-house, obviously it is kind of, I'm in it, I'm there every day.
It's revolving around it.
Yeah. And like, it's kind of, I do it every single day, and there's literally just that. So I find it easier in the way that I can be a lot more creative. Like me personally, like my brain works better that way, and I can kind of put everything into one little thing.
Yeah.
I think ideally, like, shouldn't be saying this as a marketing agency, but ideally, like businesses should hire their own social person. Like, but not every business can afford their own social person. Like, ideally, every business would have their own like full-on marketing team, like we've got.
Yeah.
Like, we've got designers, we've got web designers, but that, of course, that's not remotely financially feasible.
Yeah.
But then, so yeah, I suppose that's where agencies can kind of come in to some degree, is plug those gaps.
Yeah. Do you know what that I find working? Sorry, I need to cough. I find working with an agency like easier because like I prefer it to us getting people in house because it's like fresh eyes.
Yes.
Like you guys do so much, and you do all these different, it's like things that have worked for like another brand, for instance, like you can bring that into us, and like getting Ellie in, who's got like fresh eyes and can come just be like, oh, you should try this. We've done this before. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Because you get tied up in it, I think, sometimes, which is
100%.
the struggle of you get like so in it, and you're like, you can't see past what you're doing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. It's back to that thing, sorry, Rach. Yeah. Is that what you were saying, is that you have to keep up with things, and you do really. Like, like Charlie's just got that personality to keep up with everything, just because he like loves looking at tech news whilst he's eating his Weetabix in the morning. It's dull to me, but he like, that's part of his personality.
I struggle with that though, because purely I'm online all the time for my job. So then like on my personals, I come off social all the time.
Yeah.
So I miss things and I don't stay on top of it. And then come back on Instagram after 2 months, and it's like there's like a new trend, there's everything. And it's like, I find like having a balance really hard when you're kind of trying to keep up.
I think it's like as well near impossible to just keep up with everything from how quick the turnaround of trends and things that you could jump on and sort of copy the trend and you know, use it for your own company. It's just because of how quickly things, you have to be so on it, and it's like, how can you sort of put yourself in a position where you're able to know all of this? Like it's near impossible. So I think when you say like about relying on a marketing company or just a team of other people to help you with ideas that then go on to, you know, other ideas.
Yeah.
It's essential, really. It's impossible to do it all yourself, is my point.
Yeah, you can't do it without just chronically online. I already spend enough time on TikTok, like I don't need any more. Yeah. But yeah, to do.
For me, like one of the hardest things about marketing is people. Like,
where are you going to go with this?
No,
Nick
like,
hates people.
Some people.
Can't like everyone.
It's, I think, like agencies, for example, or working with marketing people, it's fine. But in my experience, working with people who either have a lack of understanding of marketing but have a very strong opinion about what marketing should do can create some serious conflicts, especially if those people are far more senior than the marketing team. because then they basically undo the marketing work that you've done, and it's that lack of trust. If you have a senior person that trusts in a marketing team to do their job, 9 times out of 10 that job's going to be done well. Whilst if this person or if this team is meddling, and because they've got their own expectations or their own opinions on how things should be done, for me that just it creates huge problems.
I think the whole point of being in marketing, like we've got kind of this gap to be like creative and fun, and I think what's the saying about too many chefs or whatever, too many cooks? I don't know, I don't use it, but something about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's
we know what you mean. Too many people start like meddling, like it becomes like it strips the creativity out of it because like
too many opinions.
Yeah, you can't mould it. Like that's not what marketing should be. You should try it, and if it doesn't work, you don't try it again.
Yeah.
Like
100%. You don't need 20 people in a boardroom making a decision on what a logo should look like, because I guarantee it'll look like a shower of shit.
Yes.
Like if you put it out to 20 people.
Yeah, it ends up just being a disaster often enough. I think it helps as well that you, from coming from a marketing background in an agency and seeing how that works and how it runs, having that helps you so much with the job that you do now, because you understand where people are coming from when they're suggesting, different tactics and ideas.
Oh, do you know what? My general motto is just like, just go for it. Like if you just do it. Like if anyone comes to me with an idea and I'm like, like go for it. And if we don't like it, don't do it again.
Yeah. I think that's a really good attitude to have in marketing, because I think there's quite a lot of people that are like, oh, well, it's not part of the brand, it's not part of the strategy. And then you just end up doing nothing. Whilst you're better off doing something and either like flopping or just kind of fizzling out a little bit than not doing anything at all. Because then you never get those moments where you go like, I don't know, I don't like the word viral, but you never get those like those hits.
Right. Moments.
Like, I agree. And I think especially now, like, this sounds really stupid, but it's so hard to know what's going to do well.
It is, yeah.
Like, I've posted the most ridiculous TikTok videos and they've gone viral. Literally.
Yeah, you have.
Shut up. They're literally like so stupid. Nick seen
it.
I think
I've seen it.
Yeah.
On my Instagram.
Yeah, 6 million views.
Yeah, on my Discover thing.
Yeah.
Like,
someone sent it to someone at work.
Accidentally.
Yeah, for a bit of context, Rachel created a funny video.
Can we get it to play like somewhere here?
I don't think it's
is it appropriate? It's a bit silly, and it went viral basically, but it was really daft.
Would this cause problems?
Yeah,
I mean, everyone at my job's seen it because people have sent people at my job it and said, "Is this Rach who you work with?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me."
That's the risk you run when you post it.
Do you know what? Because we was literally out. Like, we just thought we'd film a silly video and it's gone viral, but it's happened before. Like at my previous job, we did like silly things and they just do really well. And I'm like, who is engaging with this? Like, why do people like it so much?
It's funny how the algorithm works as well with that, because it is just so unpredictable. That there could be funnier videos or something that is more interesting or something like that, and it might just flop. Whereas
it's always the ones that you spend like 2 minutes editing as well. The ones that you spend 2 hours, no one interacts, and then 2 minutes, it's like a stupid video. It's like ticks off.
It's like the authenticity. I know that word is very overused now, but it does make a difference. If something comes across more authentic, it tends to penetrate through the noise more.
Yeah. Well, I was saying to Rach earlier, like how I think before, like people used to kind of like buy into brands and it was very much like they didn't really care about the people behind it per se. And then I think in the last couple of years, I don't know what's happened, but it's more about like people want to see silly stuff, or at least like the generation I'm from, like people want to see the daft stuff and they want to see like the more creative. Like no one cares about like, like a boring, I don't know how to word it, like just a boring ad that is
here's what we can do.
Yeah. Whereas like the creative stuff, you see it on LinkedIn all the time. People shout about it and they rave about it and like people remember it. And
you said, didn't you, it's more about the person, and I guess that's the impact of like how influencers work now with convincing people that's using marketing in that sense, using the influencers, and because people like to follow along with the person, not the brand as such.
Well, it's more trustworthy, isn't it? Because if a brand says to you like, oh, we're the best ever. Like, we sell this, it's going to be the greatest thing ever. You're going to be like, well, yeah, you're going to say that because
Exactly.
you want to sell me it. Whereas if
Yeah.
someone goes, oh my God, I've used this. Like someone that you follow on social, for instance, they say, oh, I really like this. And you're like, I believe them. I'll try it, whatever. Like, it's just a lot more believable, isn't it?
Hence why we're sat here.
Yeah. From that, you are quite big on LinkedIn.
God. Someone once...
You're like
remember?
LinkedIn famous.
Do you remember when we was out in town and someone walked past and went, are you Rachel Klein from LinkedIn? And I thought that is the moment of my life where it has gone down.
That was your claim to
Yeah,
fame.
not
Like,
TikTok, but LinkedIn.
That is my
Yeah,
new
yeah.
love. All the platforms, it's LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. You're LinkedIn famous.
Yeah,
Not
you
quite.
post pop quite often, don't they?
Yeah, but not quite.
Yeah. Well, no, but I think you've
do
been
all right.
you've been
Post quite a lot,
branding your like personal brand type thing on LinkedIn for years now. Like you was doing it when you worked here.
Yeah, you did.
Started
So
it when I worked
pretty
here.
much from the start of your marketing career, you've been developing your LinkedIn profile, and often enough, you write posts out. They end up blowing up with all the.
That's what I mean. They're always stupid ones as well.
I think people like that though, because LinkedIn, I feel like LinkedIn's got a bit more personal and a bit more funny.
Yeah, it has.
Thank God.
In the past few years, because I mean, when you was first starting out on it, I refused. I just hated it. I thought it was so
Yeah.
corporate and braggy and boring. And then like the people like you swoop in and start sort of calling funny
cause
things.
mayhem.
Yeah, you're causing mayhem, like sort of calling out funny things that happen in the office
Yeah.
and like things with clients and memes and stuff like that, and bringing that sort of funnier, less serious element to like a working professional platform.
Yeah. I think for me,
did
like,
you expect that to happen? I guess.
I can't even remember. I didn't even know what LinkedIn was when I started here. And I can't remember why I started it or why I did. But I think it works for me because, like, obviously with my job, you have to meet so many people.
Yeah.
And I really struggle to network. I'm quite, you won't believe it, but I'm quite, like, socially awkward. And I hate networking.
In your way.
I'll
Yeah,
say it.
Yeah.
Hate networking. And then people knowing things about you because of things that or like people that I've spoke to online. Like there's a few people in Hull that never met in real life, but I could hold a conversation with them because I've spoke to them online. And it makes it so much easier. And like, I feel like it just makes you a bit more personal. Like I'll engage with things more if someone that I know or that I spoke to posts about it because you're hungry.
I just laugh and know it's him. What, mate?
You're hungry. There's a twirl in there.
Oh.
But yeah, can't remember where I was, but yeah.
I think
Derailed by
Mayhem.
I think if you like a sort of slightly socially awkward person, I guess slightly yeah awkward person, I guess it's like knowing a bit more about someone so you can create conversation out of something you've seen online, even if you don't really know who they are or you've never worked with them or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it makes
just
it
as a starting point.
easy. Yeah, it's easier to then build a.
I'm all right after about
connection.
5 minutes. So like, if someone goes like, "Oh, I saw that," and I'm like, "Right, I'll talk to you about that for 10 minutes," and then I'll feel fine.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah,
like
ease your way into
icebreaker, innit?
conversation. Yeah, it is. It's good though. Good.
Next question.
Next question,
Can we do the
please.
pirate voice?
Next question.
Or how do you do a pirate? Do a pirate voice?
It's only the ooh-ah part.
Or next question. I sound like an 80s TV
Next
presenter.
It's like
Sound
Eastern
like
European.
the weakest link. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, bring it back.
It was
Bring
actually
back
so
Anne
good, wasn't it?
Robinson. Should we get her on?
Oh,
Get Anne Robinson on.
and get absolutely
Superfly
roasted
session.
by it.
Yeah. She's just constantly deadpan.
I know. I saw a video recently, and it was like some of the worst insults from her or something like that. And it was so of the time. I was watching it like that would not fly right now.
No.
Yeah.
No way. People would be too affected.
There's one about someone being a cook or something. She says, "Yeah, you can tell" or something. Isn't there? She says, "Like, does any of the food?"
You can't attack
something
people's
bad.
physical appearance.
Yeah,
now.
no,
That's
No.
you couldn't anyway,
No,
really.
no,
but
not really.
She
no.
did.
she did not
No
care.
shame.
It's not a good look, is it?
No. So next question. How do you think social media will impact digital marketing in the next few years? Or how has it impacted it now?
Oh my god.
That's a
There you
big
go.
question.
Big
that, isn't it?
question.
I think we've just kind of touched on it, like with some stuff. Like I feel like now, I've said this to you so many times, because my attention span since downloading TikTok and Instagram
ruined.
I regularly tell Rach about how I can't sit and watch a TV show anymore.
Or a film.
Or a video that's longer than a minute long without speeding it up, because my attention span is so ruined.
Speeding up film is like some kind of like horrific blasphemy. Like,
It's hot, yeah, I think it's so wrong, but
I was sat there the other day and I had my radio on in my kitchen, my TV on, I was on my phone and my laptop was doing something as well.
Yeah.
And I was just like, there's so much stuff. And like back in the day, awful.
I was just thinking, how do you not get overwhelmed? But like,
I do sometimes, but then I don't. My brain works in a weird way.
Yeah, I like me and Tony are similar in that way, because like the kids will have like both their iPads on, there'll be a TV on, there'll be a TV on in another room, and I'm just like making breakfast, and she'll come down and be like, what the fuck is going on?
too much going on.
Yeah,
Turn that
like,
off.
well, you know, it's
Yeah.
fine. Like, it's fine.
I just think like I
think you
can't
can tune out.
can't sit and watch them on my phone for more than genuinely about like 30 seconds before I get bored. Like attention spans are ruined. Like I remember back in like 2014 when it was like Zoella and everyone, do you remember?
Yeah.
And she used to
She was
release
my
these
fave.
vlogs and they were like minute, like I don't even know how long.
40 minutes.
Like
long.
really long. And I'd sit and watch the full thing and like be completely fine with it. And now if someone tries to, it's like a form of torture. Like if someone makes me watch a video that's longer than 2 minutes long,
Can
not
you
sped
not
up.
sit and watch like a TV show or film or anything?
Yeah,
like
but
that?
like I'm on my phone at the same time.
Oh, no.
Or like I find I can watch TV if I'm with someone else, you know, if I'm like talking to them. But it's like I can't just sit and watch a film.
Yeah.
Because I think like since TikTok and like Reels and stuff and like these short form content platforms, like I think long form is coming back now, but since like the 30-second videos and
The
stuff.
dopamine hitting it. It's
I
like, oh, what can I see
scroll.
here? What can I see here? What
Like
can I see here?
literally just sit and I scroll and I scroll and I scroll. And I was talking to Laura about work because she didn't have TikTok. She's not interested. But I was scrolling through it before and she literally was watching me do it and she was like, how do you even like know what you're watching?
You
'Cause-
do it so fast paced. You're just
Yeah.
flicking through it, and it's like, how are
Yeah,
you
you just don't
retaining
wanna
that
do-
information? It's so full on. I feel like it's such a generational thing though. Like I know there's not that much difference between mine and your age.
Basically,
Like
isn't there?
a few years, but the way you are versus the way I like to view things. It's like I love films and documentaries. And,
You're like,
and
you're
stuff
an
like that.
old.
I'm
what
an
gen
old
are you
soul,
though?
but
I'm a raging Gen Z.
yeah, you are.
I really am.
I don't know. I feel like I'm 97, so.
I don't know what you are. You're not a millennial. That's the one before, innit?
That's me.
Yeah, you're a millennial. I think
Yeah.
you Gen Y.
No idea.
Gen Y's the one. We've discussed this last time, didn't
Gen
we?
Alpha. Gen
Y's
Alpha's the new one.
Above. 2 above me. Is it?
Above.
Older.
Let's do it again.
Start again.
Google it.
Fact check.
Yeah, fact check.
Stop
Get
the fact check.
Please
I'm
don't.
not even going to attempt it.
Should I do the rest of the podcast in Scottish?
Yes.
Is that offensive? Can you do that? Is it offensive?
Is it offensive?
I
Do Scottish
I don't think it's
I won't do a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Millennials 1981 to 1996.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's right.
Just, but I don't think I relate to Gen Z.
No, you are.
I don't relate.
You are, in my mind.
So that
About
kind of makes sense as
33
why,
years old.
Rach, why you kind of maybe
I'm-
don't. You're
I'm on the
borderline,
cusp.
aren't you?
I think it's because I guess when I was a teenager, they're still the social media wasn't at all comparable to I guess what people are growing up with now.
TikTok's
so-
been quite a big shift, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, that got huge in like 2020 because I guess no one had anything to do
Everyone just
except
went
for
on that.
make
100%.
silly dance videos.
That accelerated.
I
I mean, it's
remember us
true,
trying to
and,
learn
and
them
that's
dances.
that's why you're all so good at these like miming videos, and because you were just practicing it for years,
We had
like
nothing
doing
to
these
do
silly
for
videos.
years.
Exactly, but it's like
It's like extroverted on the outside and then crippling anxiety on the inside.
exactly, yeah,
You have summed me up in literally one sentence.
literally. So you can do all these like out there videos where you're like really putting yourself out there on like TikTok, but then when it comes to actually
Real
not to
life.
call you out, but socializing
Yeah.
with people, it's like you can see the difference between people who are younger who are trying to like communicate in the outside world and they're just like so awkward and bad at it or avoid it and
avoid
just
it. That's a big thing.
And
how can you get
live,
good at something if you avoid it?
Exactly, but and live their life like online.
No, I think for me,
like
if you looked at my TikTok or my Instagram or my LinkedIn, you'd think I was a completely different person.
I was just going to say this. You come across as so confident, and you are in a lot of ways.
If I'm comfortable.
When you know the person, I'd say, because there are elements of you that are anxious and stuff like that. But
I feel like if you've got someone next to you who you know or who you're good friends with,
100%.
you'll be fine. Like talking to anyone.
Yeah, but then it's like I need that comfort. Like
it's that social protection almost, isn't it?
Even now, I've done meetings for 5 years, and I still now really, really dread going into meetings and stuff because I'm just like, what if I say something stupid or like,
or you don't because you don't know him.
Because I don't know him, and like I can't have because I am such like an unserious person that my automatic like default is just to have a laugh with the person, but you have to obviously work them out before you do that because you can't just go into a room with like really serious corporate people and be like, hi guys.
I think that's charming though.
I think that is charming.
I think showing your personality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Did all right.
It's interesting though to see the shift of how different generations sort of are, and especially like on the social media sense, how different it is for people and how much the younger people's worlds like sort of revolve around content making and you know,
that'll be
consistent watching.
Now that you've downloaded TikTok, you're gonna come to the dark side.
I just can't scroll.
Do you know what? I've never
it makes me
been
feel anxious. It's too much. I'm like the opposite of you, where when there's too much content or things going on or too many noises, I'm just like, I can't even focus on this one thing right now that I really want to actually do or watch.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, we're so different.
so different, but the same.
Same name.
Oh dear.
Okay, next question. Being friends with, so this is on the topic of being friends with people who you work with. So obviously, we met and are friends from obviously work, and then we lived together as well at one point.
Worked, lived, commuted.
Yeah, it was full on.
Spent every waking minute.
Yeah. And I guess my question is, can you be friends with people who you work with?
Yeah, 100%. I genuinely have never had a job where I've not like made a friend out of it because I think work's stressful. You know, like as much as we love our jobs, you have days where you just...
Sometimes you don't love it. Sometimes it's really boring as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be boring.
And I just think like the reason why I look forward to going into work every day isn't because I'm going to sit and do content or whatever. It's because I see the people that I work with.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm so social. Like I need that thing. Like I remember I did a post on LinkedIn a while ago about...
Anyway, viral.
About working from home and how I'd done it for a week straight just because that's the way my diary planned out. And I absolutely hated it.
Did you?
I went insane. Like I'd not spoken out loud in literally about a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going mental. Like I needed to go see my work friends. And like it just makes stuff so much easier.
You need human communication. But I think when you like the people you work with, God, it makes it so much better.
Yeah.
But like, don't you think it makes it so like we're a good example of it? I think because if there's anything, do you know, like if one, I mean, we never have, but like if one of us made an error or like we needed to chat or like have a harder conversation,
which we have, haven't we?
Yeah, like, and it doesn't ever come out as like either like stressful or negative because it's like because you know them and you're friends with them, it's kind of just constructive all the time.
Yeah,
there's
it's
never
like
any like
respect, isn't there?
Yeah,
I don't think it always is like that though.
I mean, in my experience, I've always had a good run, so don't jinx it.
But some people probably won't experience that, I think.
No.
I think marketing as well is a very kind of liberal...
A lot of opinions, isn't they?
No, I was going to say, I was going to kind of say the opposite. The industry is quite generally more friendly office, like everyone, like it's not...
I think maybe, do you think that's because it's more creative and less corporate?
I think so, yeah. I think
less...
so then it attracts a certain type of person. Not to stereotype, but I am
It used to be there.
It didn't used to be there.
It used to be like marketing was quite like when it was a bit less digital, I think, and it was all like
it's more corporate, wasn't it? It was more like men in suits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it has changed.
I guess at like one point there'd have never have been like no one could have ever imagined that marketing would turn to silly videos promoting a product that went viral. Like you wouldn't have presumed at some point that it'd go to that level of
being risky.
Of risk. And I think marketing's always been somewhat risky though, because if you think of like older marketing things like I don't know, TV back in my day, TV adverts, for instance, when I feel like they was a lot more popular, where we all knew the big ones or the risky ones.
Yeah,
I think there's always been the risk, but not in maybe as much of a I don't know, risky creative way. I don't know.
God, back in 1927 when Nick was a child.
You think we're so old.
In the 90s, the internet was like a brand new thing. You pretty much didn't even have it. You didn't have access to it. So the only thing you consumed was a TV ad, an ad at the cinema, or an ad where you were driving around.
Anything printed.
What else would there have been? Like anything else? Radio ads.
Radio.
Yeah.
There's still radio.
And that was it.
Yeah.
So then, like, I think that actually, the whole culture is, our whole culture, I'm going a bit deeper now. Like, if you think of like pop culture and stuff like that, like bands like Oasis, you don't get bands like that anymore. Not because the bands aren't necessarily any good anymore, which I don't think they actually are.
Of course you do.
But because there was only one way of buying music, and that was going to a shop and buying a CD. And bands and artists made so much more money. It was in their interest to be good, whilst now it's like they don't make that much money, so it's like there's so many different artists. So now you've got just to relate that to marketing, you've got TV, phones, fucking phones, which have every form of possible advertisement. So now the whole thing's just massively diluted and overwhelming.
Yeah. But
it's because you can be everywhere.
Like TikTok has made so many people famous.
Oh no, it has, yeah.
Like for music.
But for how long? This is the thing that's
Sabrina
how long.
Carpenter.
Because it's like, she's quite a big one though, but I mean like sort
Chapel
of the... Yeah. But it's like, it's great to allow people to get noticed. But then it's like, but for how long? How long are people going to be like bothered? How important of a dent are they going to put in these industries? Do you know what I mean?
I think as well, like cancel culture, like the TikTok especially is brutal. Like celebrities can't do anything wrong. Like if it was now,
being
so like take Liam Gallagher and his stupid tweets. If he started putting them out, if he was famous, like just got famous now when he posted that on TikTok, people would cancel him. And everyone complains and they do the tiniest thing wrong. Like they're people and they do the tiniest thing.
Wrong things. Like,
but everyone holds them on this pedestal and it's like, oh my God, Taylor Swift's drunk. Like, and I'm like, well, yeah, she's a 33-year-old woman. Like she's going to get drunk. It's people like have this thing. I've mentioned Taylor Swift.
Of course.
Ticked.
Your favourite person ever.
Of what
Will
Rachel's
Rachel
going to
make
mention.
pirate noises? Mention Taylor Swift. Do a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this
Damn, I
thing
should
where
have thought
like...
about that.
Too little.
I'll
come back. Yeah, there's just this thing of like people... There's a lack of accountability, I think, online for people that are commenting and stuff. People think that just because they're behind a screen...
100%.
We've got it. We spoke about this, didn't we?
Jesus Christ.
People are
really
so
bad.
nasty. I've had to delete so many mean comments on things that I've posted and stuff. And I just think, like, who raised you? Who made you post that?
I don't know how they dare. Because it's like, you got to name it unless they've got like a weird
They always have
like
fake
troll account.
profiles.
A lot of people are anonymous, aren't they, I think? And everyone's super brave when they're at the end of their phone, but I don't think they'll be as brave if they were to sit in front of the person and say the same thing.
It's
what
such
the
nasty
hell,
things.
They'd never. They'd never, unless they are a genuinely bad person.
That's part of the culture, though, isn't it? That's what we're living in, whether we like it or not.
That's why it's so overwhelming, though, because you log on and you post a funny video and you've got 5 comments like saying nasty things or saying stuff, and you're just like, it like kind of puts you off it. It's just like this overwhelming thing of like you scroll down your feed and you expect something to be like, you see a nice video and like the comments you expect them to be like real positive, but everyone's like
They'll
coming
pick
for them.
something.
And
You're damned if you do,
horrible.
damned if you don't.
Yeah. It's just, I don't understand it. Personally.
Unfortunately, it's sort of a given nowadays, isn't it? That people feel like they can comment on things like that, unfortunately.
Say whatever they want. Yeah.
Whacking that, I'm sorry.
It's gone deaf now.
Just like nutting it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Get off. You're not coming back.
Great.
Oh, we should honestly, this would be good. Could you reckon we could wrap into these and make like a diss track?
Who
But
would
not
we
a
diss?
diss track. Right.
Of course you would. Of course I'd be the target.
Just easy
Then
one.
she
You
would
sat
have to
right there.
rap back, which would be one of the greatest things ever.
I'd be really good at it, and Rach would be like,
You would be really
That is just something that I could not ever do. I'm not
I'm adding
gifted
that.
like that.
I'm adding that to the itinerary.
No, thank you.